Hey everyone, back on the Mini Cooper here. I've gone through it. We changed the valve cover on it because it was leaking a bit, so obviously a new PCV setup. Repaired the PCV line because apparently these are pretty much impossible to find on these 1.6 non-turbo motors. Literally checked everywhere for this thing and obviously could not find anything. So even the dealer, I don't think they even have this anymore. It must be discontinued. So I had to repair what it was. Seems to be working pretty well. Did some test runs in it, so it has a new flywheel now, new clutch. This thing's never been changed. It's an 09 and the stampings were 08 on this clutch and flywheel, so I know these things are pretty common, so I don't know how it's never been changed. But either way, repaired the exhaust on it. There was obviously a leak, got all that sorted out, got the new upper tie bar put in it, new rad support, which is basically all plastic but also has the fan built into it, so I got all that hooked back up, rewired, got some used headlights, remounted the grill. The hood is getting repaired and repainted as we speak. It's not quite done yet, but it's on its way to being complete. So next up, what we're doing is mounting the electric supercharger. I know the previous video I kind of had it running. The MAF was back here, obviously with air being sucked through, the MAF was going all crazy. So I've basically pulled the wiring out of the motor here and kind of extended it over here. So I'm basically gonna put the MAF in the front corner here, pulling air directly in. We're gonna try that and see how that works. Seems to be the issue. So I got this thing all wired already. So there's a little box down here I just mounted. Wiring goes up into the actual little electric supercharger, then it runs up in here, positive and negative into the battery. Then I just kind of temporarily ran this just for now to make sure it all runs. This is a trigger wire and then this is a 12-volt switch wire. So I got that all wired into the fuse panel and onto a switch. So we're going to try that and see what happens. So I've had to order a few more parts. Ordered this little guy off Amazon. It's a 2 3/4 to 2.5 inch exhaust reducer. They call it an exhaust tip. I mean, it fits right into the stock intake boot here. So I'm gonna start with that. I have this 2.5 inch to 2.5 inch silicone coupler. So basically it's gonna go kind of like that on there. Then we're gonna go 2.5 inch into the turbo, electric supercharger, whatever you wanna call it. Mount this more or less right here. And then we have 3 inch to 3 inch out. We're gonna do this is a 3 inch to 2 3/4 inch. So we're gonna flip that, put a 3 inch piece of exhaust tubing in there. And then we're going to put this mass airflow sensor set up kind of in the front corner here, kind of like it is factory. Then we'll just route it basically back into the front corner of the rad support. That's what we got so far. 2.5 inch exhaust tubing here, silicone coupler on each end. Just kind of have to watch this plug here, make sure it doesn't interfere with this, so I'm gonna have to maneuver that around. But as you can see, it kind of gets into the intake track here. So far so good. Seems to be running fine with this supercharger hooked up to it. I mean, it's definitely pulling air in. It does die a little bit when I put my hand over it, so obviously it's still doing what it's needed to do. So seems to be running fine. It revs really well. So I'm gonna try and flip the switch and see what happens. Might let it run for 30 seconds or so, make sure nothing catastrophic happens, and then give her some revs. Not sure if they got picked up at all, but the motor does not like the forced air going into it. I'm sure with a little bit of tuning, we could probably get this thing to calm down a bit and actually run pretty well, but I don't know how far I want to get into this thing, and I'm not sure how much tuning solutions there are for these 1.6 NA motors. Not sure if anybody out there has any tuners they would recommend, but it may be worth trying to see if we get this thing running and actually making a little more power with an electric supercharger that was actually tuned for this engine. Let me know, guys.